Hello and welcome to our daily bulletin, broadcast daily from Hanoi. Up next are the top stories. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc asked telecommunications sector to become a spearhead industry. ASEAN economic ministers hold a consultation with partner countries. Health Ministry on alert after Zika infection confirmed. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has asked the telecommunications industry to become a spearhead sector and make more contributions to the country's development during a working session with the Vietnam Post and Telecommunications Group on August 4th. Prime Minister Phúc suggested that the group, known as VNPT, focus on high-tech industrial production and minimize importing, while paying more attention to direct workers and sales teams to improve laborers' income. He said the group should also promote solidarity and better the party-building work, especially among leaders. The Prime Minister requested the VNPT to take the leading in Vietnam's telecommunications market, especially in broadband telecommunications and the satellite network, while developing mobile telecommunications and bringing VNA phone to an international level. VNPT has enjoyed good results from its restructuring since 2014. Its leadership and management team members were reduced from 20% to 10%, while its sales force was increased to nearly 15,000 from around 4,000. VNPT owns the largest telecommunication infrastructure in Vietnam. The group manages VNASat 1 and VNASat 2 satellites, providing services to the most remote areas. On the occasion, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc also attended the launch ceremony of the VNA Phone as service organized by the VNPT Vinaphone Corporation. This is the first satellite service provided by a Vietnamese provider, which covers the entirety of Vietnam's territory, including sky, sea, and islands and border areas. Vinaphone coverage has expanded to 2/3 of the world, which is useful in search and rescue activities. Deputy Prime Minister Vương Đình Huệ suggested Vietnamese and Laos ministries of finance enhance collaboration while receiving Laos Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Somdi Duong Di in Hanoi on August 4th. He held the two ministries for signing a cooperation agreement for 2016-2020, which maps out important orientations in bilateral affiliation. The Deputy Prime Minister proposed that the two sides increase high-level delegation exchanges to share experience on the macroeconomic situation and fiscal policy in their respective countries, especially handling budget expenditure and collection, building their legal systems and economic institutions, and training financial officials. Somdi Duong Di said his visit aims to discuss cooperation contents that the two ministries signed in April 2016. He highlighted the economic, financial, and budget situation in Laos and thanked the Vietnamese Ministry of Finance for its assistance over the past years. He also expressed his wish to receive more support from his Vietnamese counterpart to improve capacity for Lao financial staff. Within the framework of the 48th ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting and related meetings in the Lao capital city of Vientiane, the ASEAN ministers had separate consultations with their counterparts from partner countries, including the Republic of Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. At the 13th ASEAN Republic of Korea consultations, the delegates discussed measures to effectively implement the ASEAN-Korea Free Trade Agreement and step up cooperative ties in various fields, especially in technology transfer. The ministers applauded the third protocol on amendments to the ASEAN-Korea Trade in Goods Agreement, saying that it has helped to simplify procedures in several fields. During the 19th consultations with Japan, the Republic of Korea, and China, the participants debated researches and initiatives to accelerate the regional supply chain. While attending the 21st consultations with Australia and New Zealand, the ministers welcomed the first protocol on amendments to the ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement. The deal took effect in October 2015, contributing to the enhancement of economic partnerships among the concerned nations. While in Vientiane to attend the ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting and related meetings, Vietnamese Minister of Industry and Trade Trần Tuấn Anh paid a courtesy visit to Laos Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith on August 4th. The Lao government leader told his guests that directions by Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc and efforts by the Vietnamese Ministry of Industry and Trade have brought good results in trade and industries between the two countries. He proposed that the ministry further encourage Vietnamese businesses to invest in producing consumer goods and wood processing in Laos. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs hosted a press conference in Hanoi on August 4th. More details coming up next.
During the conference, Foreign Ministry's spokesman Lê Hải Bình answered reporters' question related to China's opening of General Consulate in the central city of Da Nang, causing concerns about security. He said China's opening of the General Consulate is aimed at strengthening economic and trade relations and increasing friendly exchanges between Chinese localities and Da Nang in particular and other Vietnamese localities in general. The move also expected to have China tightly coordinate with Vietnamese agencies in solving consular issues. Regarding China's launch of the website on the East Sea, with Vietnam's Hoàng Sa known as Paracel and Trường Sa separately archipelagos being called Sisha and Nansha, being said, China's move fails to change the fact that Vietnam has indisputable sovereignty over the two archipelagos.
The Ministry of Health has taken stronger preventive measures against the Zika virus across the country, particularly in the central province of Phú Yên, where a local man recently tested positive for the virus. According to the Provincial Department of Health, the 27-year-old patient had a fever of 38.5 Celsius degrees, muscle and joint pains on June 27, and a red rash spread across the body on June 30th. He was then admitted to the General Hospital of Sơn Hòa Mountainous District and had a blood sample test negative for dengue by the Provincial Preventive Health Center. On July 7, the patient was discharged from hospital. However, the patient's blood sample was then sent to the Pasteur Institute in Central Khánh Hòa Province. On July 28, the institute concluded the patient had contracted Zika virus. After receiving the conclusion, the Provincial Health Department set up a team to inspect the patient's residence and 30 surrounding households in Tân Hội Hamlet, Sơn Hòa District. The patient's family members gave blood and urine samples for testing. Health workers also sprayed chemicals to treat the outbreak.
The province had not recorded any other Zika infection within 28 days. Since the patients first showed symptoms, it could be affirmed that the outbreak is controlled.
On August 2nd, another inspection team was dispatched to the hamlet and discovered no suspected Zika cases. The 5th Export Fair of Zhejiang, one of the most prosperous provinces in China, kicked off in Hanoi on August 4th. Bilateral trade between Vietnam and China records an annual average growth of 20%. China was the biggest trade partner of Vietnam in 2015, with an import-export turnover of over $66.6 billion, a year-on-year increase of 13.4%. Vietnam is also one of the largest trade partners of China in ASEAN. According to China's General Administration of Customs, trade between Vietnam and Zhejiang topped $5.52 billion in 2015, a yearly rise of 14.3%.
This is the 5th time the Zhejiang Department of Commerce has cooperated with Vietnam's Ministry of Industry and Trade for the event. With each year that passes, the scale of the event and the quality of products has been improved. Zhejiang boasts its strength in manufacturing and can supply Vietnam with its commodities.
Nearly 100 businesses from the Chinese province, which represent the Zhejiang-made symbol, are displaying their products which are popular in Southeast Asia, such as machinery, metals, apparel materials, and handicrafts.
We are a provider of sofa cloth. Today, many Chinese factories have moved to Vietnam because of the country's advantages in labour costs, land rental and facilities. As part of our clients have moved to Vietnam, we will enter the market to sell our products.
The 2016 Zhejiang Export Fair, which will run until August 6, houses 150 booths featuring machinery, electronic equipment, construction materials, interior decoration, metals, garments, and consumer products. Ho Chi Minh City has set a target of posting $9,800 per capita income by 2020. The target was announced at a 3-day session of the Municipal People's Council. Ho Chi Minh City's leaders and newly elected lawmakers discussed socio-economic targets amid many complaints about extending flooding, traffic jams, and pollution. The city targets average annual growth of 8 to 8.5%, with the services sector contributing roughly 60% of its gross regional domestic product by 2020. The city hopes to create 625,000 jobs over the next 5 years, bringing down the unemployment rate to below 4.5% by 2020. It also plans to ensure 85% of the workforce is trained. Every household will get safe water by 2020. The healthcare sector would be improved to ensure there are 20 doctors per 10,000 population. The council urged deputies to raise pressing issues with officials to ensure better development and improve living conditions. Environmental pollution, food safety, flooding, and traffic congestion, which remain the top public concern, were among the topics for discussion at the session. The Vietnam Fisheries International Exhibition, VFish 2016, has opened in Ho Chi Minh City. The event is organized by the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers under the auspices of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. With the theme of Asia's home of seafood, VFish 2016 has seen the participation of nearly 200 local and foreign enterprises from 14 countries and territories, such as Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, Germany, the United States, Turkey, and the Republic of Korea. These enterprises have showcased their products as well as latest technologies at over 350 booths at the exhibition, which runs through August 5th. On the sidelines of the exhibition, a number of workshops will be held, serving as a forum for the participating firms to seek partners and get updated information and trends about the market and technologies. According to VASEP, Vietnam is currently the world's third largest farmed fish producer and the world's fourth largest seafood exporter. The country is also emerging as an attractive destination for world seafood traders. And that has wrapped up our bulletin. Thank you for watching and join us again next time.